Okay, that should be good. That should be good now. How are we going? Okay, Wanker. Matty. That should all be good now, team. How are we going? Big Benny. Just got done at Kapuka. My reserve pay was more than I got as a public servant. Big Ben, do not go anywhere. I'm about to tell you something about Army Reserve that you're qualified now that you do not know about. And when you go back to your unit tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 3 hours, half day, you are going to become the most popular man that's ever walked into that unit because you've got the news. If you know anyone that is in Army Reserve now and you have their number, text them and tell them to get online right now because I've got breaking news for you and it's going to change lives. It is going to change lives, and I mean that in a good way. I can't believe that I can't do it. I want you to get wet. I want you to get OnlyFans wet because this is an exclusive. I've just told Dave D, who's at the moment down in Tasmania, freezing the metal ones off. But, mate, I could not share this with you. It's not very often I get on here and talk about Army Reserve, but holy crap. A lot of this still pertains to people in the regular army, but I believe that government has accidentally given you the keys to the goddamn city. Every box will be ticked. Tonight, everything will be covered. I want you to put down there right now, "G'day Yale, how you going?" Named after a university, sir. Ked Nelly, instead of Nelly the Ked. "G'day, mates. Wenham. Hey, brother, I had my PFA 2 weeks ago and had my psych today. All good reports so far, mate." Well, guys, I see all this news, but how come you aren't on Patreon? I want to get these phone calls from you. We've got breaking news as well. One of our Patreon members that didn't know they could have a child, has just found out with his wife, IVF, bam, they're pregnant. Amazing. Fantastico. From now on, also, guys, any tips that ever come in is going towards my daughter's investment, her portfolio. Also, we're going to make some news that all Patreon money, $1,000 of it, this month coming up is going towards a beautiful thing that we're going to do for a family. And I'm going to tell you more about that today too. G'day Aussie Anzac, how you going, buddy? Cooey digger. Were you in GE? What's that? Dude, I'm hopping on Patreon now. See you soon. No worries, Wanham. Guys, the conversations I have every day are incredible. We've got a fella that was on today as well, 28-year-old, just fell in love. The inner bitch in him came out. He became a simp for a chick. She's broken his heart. And I spoke to him for an hour and brought him back from feeling terrible to now feeling, you know it. And we've got him back on track. We don't always talk about military. This is where men come together. I'm 54. Whatever age you are is what your age is. But when we talk about things that we've got in common, we compare notes, dark humour, on the bat phone that's only available on Patreon, bam, I can make a difference to your life. And the good thing is the conversation ends with me. So I don't go and then put that up anywhere. You get to get it out of your system. Awesome. Good to go. General entry. Yeah, I was general entry. I was core enlisted to OPSIGs, which is electronic warfare. But then I went, no way. I'm going to infantry. Never looked back. And I'm glad I didn't. How good's that denim wretched flag up there too? It's beautiful. Kaz's men's shed. Yep, you bring the topics. We talk about it. Yeah. What are you drinking tonight? I'm drinking exotic Coca-Cola from the glass vessel. Guys, you may not be able to realise, but I am so excited about what I'm about to talk to you about tonight. Cannot believe that I can't qualify for it. Cannot believe it. This is for males and females. Pigs when going to join reserves in university and join in officer entry post degree. Any tips I might need? Yes. Don't become an officer. I'll explain that in a minute. Mr. Donny, when the next intake to Kapuka, as my son missed out on the last one. Mr. Donny, fantastic. We've got the Wolverine that is going into Kapuka tomorrow. He's in a hotel. He's got his missus with him. He joins up tomorrow. Oath or affirmation. Exciting. His life changes. This is the last time you'll ever do a shit in a toilet without a PM Keys number beside his name. James Caristianis. Hey, Kaz, you're a legend. Just waiting on my lactose intolerance to be passed through Canberra. Next stop, Kapuka. You know it! Talking about lactose intolerance today on a Patreon call, you know, to someone that was down and out in their mind, I shit me pants. That's where honesty starts, right here in the trenches. You know, I was walking with him. For people that don't know, I've got Crohn's disease. Went for a walk, having a cup of coffee. The alarm bells came on. Boom. Massive penetrating ordnance. The same thing they dropped in Iran came out of me. No one knew it except me. One of my favourite places in Australia is Coffs Harbour. I was on my way to my PFA and medical called me and said my tattoo has been deemed intimidating. What is it? Have you got a tattoo of a white heterosexual male on your arm? Dudes, I can't even believe what I'm about to tell you. I guarantee what I'm about to tell you, you are going to look at me and go, bullshit, this can't be true. And I want every goddamn filthy army reservist that I'm jealous of at the moment to look into this, and you are going to find that I am goddamn right. I'm an economist. I'm a pundit. I'm a dickhead. But I'm your dickhead. And tonight, this is exciting. I'm asking for one of you to do something in return. One of you has to jump on the sword tonight. I want to see one $10 donation. One of you's on the stream. Make a $10 donation right now. Watch it come up on the screen. So tonight, the $1 million information only costs just $10. See if you can do that, and that'll go towards one of my daughter's shares. Hey, Kaz, Alex, hey, Kaz, it's, life's going good right now. 6 months in ADFA right now. Life is good. Defence changes lives, people. It absolutely does. Stickman's here. Yes, I am an economist. You will be tonight. Jessie, I want your girl. Jessie's girl. Where can I find a woman like that? G'day, Kaz, mate, applying for gap year in infantry. Had my defence interview today. Waiting for my PFA now. Love your work, mate. You're on Maddie's podcast. Inspired me to join. Jesse Dalton, fantastic. I want to see you, mate, as soon as you can on Patreon so you and I can have a conversation. And what's going to happen is you will have your own platoon sergeant in your corner. Dave D, reservists spent all their pay on unnecessary field gear. It is true, bivvy bags, you don't need them. Cane and Peppers, good to have you here, my man. Smash that like button, team. But not if you can't afford a new keyboard. We're going to get onto it in a second. If you're watching right now, team, this is a video where I'm sharing this with you now. But I'm going to make a shorter video, deliberate, outside, more interactive, and I'm going to cover everything we're talking about tonight, and that video should go for less than 10 minutes or so, or less than 15 minutes. But this is because I've stumbled on this shit, and those guys right now, like Jesse Dalton, g'day Kaz, mate, applying for gap year in infantry, you're exactly who this video is for. Okay, Matto, we're done. Turn the stream off. Matto hates, throws it up there, $10. I'm paid. Whatever happens now is gravy. Thank you very much, Matty. Let's throw this Nutsu cow on for you. The White Warrior. I accept. There you go. Thanks, Matty. Baobab prospecting. Back of my head's tattooed with a skull. But they're not intimidated by you having a skull inside your head. I was 8 months into my application, only had PFA left. I'll send a pic to the bat phone if you like. Okay, so Maddie, what if they said to you, are you willing to get that removed? Can I come back? If that's the case, would you be willing to get that removed? Right, because we're talking about an entire career here. Entire career. Right, I'm getting excited. I'm about to start talking about what we're talking about. Currently 14 with a job in Army Cadets, aiming really high to become a sergeant by the time I'm 16 or 17, saving up just to move to Queensland and join infantry. What do we reckon? Mate, Cadets keeps you off the street. Fantastic. Okay, but do not expect it to translate to any particular benefit, and it can teach you bad habits. Be careful. Wait a sec. Something's happened. Pigs! Pigs donated $10 through Super Chat. Thank you very much, team. Let's give him... He's not getting a Nutsu cow. He's going to get a... You know who loves this? Ready for this one? This is what an Adelaide mother is like, the single mums. It's a Kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari. Thank you very much there, Pigs. Cheers, buddy. Ken Nelly, that sucks about Bird. I thought we should have want intimidating soldiers. Seems cooked to me. Look, you couldn't even get in with tattoos on your hands not long ago, team. Smash for PFA, thanks for your training advice. Cheers, Kaz. MMA, fantastic. Toast to you. For those that have missed me, I've been in and out of hospital continually, team. Stickman says cadets give you a little bit of experience with the uniforms and gives you some drill foundations. Yep. It also teaches you dress and bearing to an extent. It teaches you how to march. It teaches you the traditions of the military as well, and it keeps you off the streets. Thank you very much, Piggy. All right, are we ready? We've been going for like nearly 15 minutes. To tell you the truth, I've just been waiting for Carl P to jump on because this is the guy that does so much work for DFR, telling everyone how good it is. I'm going to tell you something else that's going to occur. Here he is. Contact front. 60 metres. Reference, lone gum tree. Slight right. One single mum prone position with credit card debt. Gun group, 50 rounds. Normal rate. Wait. Fire. Got her. Right in the chin. There you go, the Kraken's back. So guys, I'll tell you a couple of things that are occurring before we go into what's happening. This is going to be very exciting also for people that are at the School of Infantry. I can do this now if they want it, but I'll talk to you about this. DA. Nutsu cow, Kraken, or Nutsu cow? Let's go Nutsu cow, the White Warrior. I accept. Thank you very much, DA, District Attorney of New York. Kaz, is that a glass bottle of Coke? Not seen that much now. You've got to buy them in a 4-pack. Got it today. Makes me look like I'm exotic. Thank you very much. So 2 of the things before we go into everything about Army Reserve and how I'm about to change your goddamn life. Jesse, wondering if you know much about whether when you're in infantry gap year, you will be with gap year blokes in Singo or just with everyone. No. You will go in, come out of Kapuka, and you'll go to your IT training, and you still have to pass your BFD, which is your basic fitness diagnostic, which is if you're under 21 years old, that means 11 minutes, under 25, 11 to 18 on the run, 40 push-ups, and the 64 sit-ups. You know, once you've done that, then you can go into session. If you don't do that by rights, you're not meant to go into session. And for those that don't know, at the moment, Gallipoli platoon is empty. Empty. They're waiting for people to turn up. What was your favourite weapon you fired in the army? M4. Yeah, I love the Colts. I love the 84 as well. I was scared shitless of the AMR 50 cal marksman rifle. I think the M417 was fantastic too from Heckler & Koch 7.62. SLR, it hit too hard. Stickman, very few squadrons have gotten that last year. I know my officers had to fight tooth and nail for it. We're winning in the Air Force cadets. There you go. Graduate, come to the Army. Okay, we're going to start to talk about two things, then we're going to go into it. First one is we're looking at giving back with the Patreon money for this month, you know, and going and finding a beautiful person doing it hard in a laundromat. And what we're going to look at doing is funding, finding out why they're in a laundromat, if they're using, and if it turns out they just hard up, they've got children, is normally going to be a qualifier, then we're going to go and take them to Harvey Norman and buy them an upstairs, downstairs washing machine and dryer so that in winter they can have their kids' uniforms ready and look after them and give something back to them that will actually change their life. The other thing is, what I'm looking at doing is an off-the-book shuttle service for soldiers at the School of Infantry, where they can contact me and say, hey, on the Friday or the Saturday or the Sunday to get me home, you know, can you either get me to Newcastle or can you get me back to Singleton as a group, and potentially even be a day driver for a group of people that want the information, a day with Kaz in the vehicle, not as an individual, but I'm not going to get one-on-one with people. That's freaking sailor shit. But yeah, you know, I love people. Eventually, when I move to Newcastle, I'll be going into Uber, and I'll probably be, you know, going hard on that, you know, because I like conversations. Gaming Sphere. Okay, I just wanted to say thanks for the support. I'm going on the 28th to Uproot and then to Kapuka to become an infantryman. Game Sphere. Fantastico. Again, gaming. Are you on the bat phone yet? If you're not on the bat phone team, you're doing yourself an injustice. I've never met anyone that hasn't been happy to turn up. Have a question. Do you head to IET straight away? As soon as you leave Kapuka, you graduate on Friday, administration Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, straight up, breakfast, boom, on the bus, Singleton by 5 o'clock, and now you're an infantryman. Good to see you back. Thanks there, Klitz. Scotty and Peppers, Defence Uber. Yep. Just said, what if they are homeless and where will they put the washing machine? I'm not going to give it to a homeless person, sorry. Archie, got my defence interview tomorrow. Archie, you and I could have been talking. We could have been talking on the bat phone, but you're not on here. I can't drag you to water, mate. You've got to come to me. The Patreon link is down below. Get on there. Join Patreon tonight. Thanks there, Klitz. Get on to the bat phone team. Yeah, that's where I get all of your questions tailored for you. Okay, enough of the shit. We've been talking now for 20 minutes. Let's talk about Army Reserve. Okay, recommendations, perks, pay, and how, listen to this, you're going to become a millionaire. We're going to talk about CERCAT 5. We're going to talk about CERCAT 4. We're going to talk about what it means. We're going to talk about day obligations. We're going to talk about DOHAS schemes that assist in you in buying a goddamn house. We're going to talk about interest calculator on how much you can get. And there is, I'm going to say a bold statement. I'm going to say a bold statement. Are you ready? Someone say they're ready. Someone say that you're ready. The first person to write in, lesbian ghoul, is who I'll be talking to. I am the lesbian ghoul tonight. Ellen DeGenerate, that's who I look like. If you're in the military right now, salute to you. To all the lads out at the School of Infantry, put a thumbs up now if you're there. Come on, lesbian ghoul. Thanks, Lee. Joshy says he's ready. Chuma is ready. subscribe, team, and you'll be able to jump on and then you'll be able to ride as well. Lesbian Ghoul, there we go, peppers. It's all about peppers tonight. Okay. So, take your glasses off, Kaz, so I look like I can play sports. Take your goggles off. Righto, team. This is the deal. I stumbled on this a couple of nights ago after coming back from hospital, got into an Uber. I'm going somewhere with this. There was a guy from Malaysia, lovely bloke. It came up, boom, top-rated driver. I'm going, what's this about? Got in there, started talking about Uber. And it made me start thinking about side hustles. You know, what people can do. What happens if someone like Kanan Peppers went to join the army and they said, no, mate, not in this lifetime. No, sir, no cash for you, no king's crown. And he decides, what am I going to do next? Okay, we're going to get to that. And then I started to think about Army Reserve. I'd spoken a lot to K-Dog and I'd spoken a lot to D-Dog. And I thought to myself, there's something going on. So now I've changed in the way I've thought about everything in the last 24 hours. You used to hear me say, I hated gap year. Unless you do it with a purpose. And I'm going to explain that purpose. So, you go to join the military. You join the regular army. That's not what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the Army Reserve. Our world is going towards a paramilitary police force. Not so much military, not so much police, domestic, isolationist, defend the shores, Australian Defence Force. It's in the name. I don't think we're going to be projecting forces on anything for a long, long time, okay? Outside requirements from alliances, whatever, because our biggest ally is the US. Remember, UK has never come to assist Australia in strife. So I think what we're going to see is isolationists when it comes to conflict around the world, you know, where people are not going to get involved, including if something happens to Taiwan. Maybe. Now, all right, do you want to go overseas? If I was to ask you a question, Kanan Peppers, let's just say that your missus was pregnant. You haven't seen your baby's face yet. This is an analogy, team. At 7 months until your baby's going to be born, the most precious thing, okay, unless you're a lefty and hate children, it's the most beautiful thing that's ever going to happen in your life, supposedly. And we're going to say this is in a relationship where everything was consensual, you want it to occur. Who outside of Australia would you give up ever meeting your child for to die for a politician you don't like, you know, for a people that won't appreciate it, or if they will, I'll never see you, and they're not fighting themselves? I'd probably argue none. No one. Okay? Australia, on the other hand, I'd take up a weapon today. I'd give up all of my tomorrows for Australian citizens. Absolutely. Which means Army Reserve is actually a fantastic, I've changed my mind a lot. It's a fantastic organisation. The Romans used it. It was called the Limitanei, which meant everyone had garrison forces, not just legions in the area. And I don't mean Philadelphia like AIDS and LGBT scarring and shit. Sorry, I'm on a tangent. So, the Army Reserve. I started to think about it. And I've been speaking a lot to our Army Reserve members of the channel. And I thought to myself, it's a pretty goddamn good perk. Okay, it's a good perk. What does Army Reserve give you? For starters, it's not that hard to get into, but it's harder than it should be. The Army Reserve gives you a network. It gives you friendship. It gives you aligned conversations, dark humour, and networking where you can be an 18-year-old beside a 54-year-old like myself. And as long as we're talking about military, you've got as much kudos in that uniform as what I have. Sort of entwined with rank. So you go in the Army Reserve. The Army Reserve is tax-free. Now, there's a thing called CIRCAT 5, which is General Service Army Reserve, which means you turn up on your Tuesday night, you know, 3 nights a week or Tuesday each week, and obligation to try and turn up to at least 1 weekend a month. Okay, a weekday a 3-hour day is a Tuesday night, and that is, I believe, $120 to $125 tax free. Okay, or 4 hours in Uber, right? A full day is $245. Tell me if I'm wrong, for a day rate for a private soldier. $245. If you actually go outfield, you get an additional $120 on top of that. A day consists of 6 hours. In what world is it 6 hours? In Army Reserve it is. But it doesn't matter if you do 6 hours or you do 24 hours in that 24-hour period. It's one day. So either $240 or $245 or $360 for a full day. That is a lot when it's tax-free and it's accumulated, doing something you want to do around the people you want to do it with. On top of that, you can get incidentals. We're going to get into the money on this in a minute because it's about to become very goddamn important. If you do CERCAT, that means that you're qualified. You've done your equivalent of Kapuka. You've done your equivalent of IET training, initial employment training, infantry, cavalry, etc. I recommend infantry, cavalry. They're the two big ones, and I'll explain why. Most about mateship, most about equipment, most about fun, less about paperwork, right? Go as a private, so it's always fun, always on the tools, never about the paperwork. If you become an officer, you will get used. You'll get paid more, but the obligations for paperwork will eventually take you away from the tools, and you'll be making activities for others to use tools that you don't get to play with yourself. Okay. Plus, you don't get all the comforts of being able to speak to everyone and network with everyone because you're an officer, not a private soldier. Okay. And the age that you go in will make a big determination about what we're going to talk about tonight. Let's just say Conan Peppers is a 20-year-old man. Let's make it even. 20-year-old. 24. So that when he hits 30 years service, that means he's 54, which is the age this lesbian is right now. He's 24 years old. He goes in and decides, righto, I'm going to spend my first year, I'm going to do gap year. Let's go back to that one. So gap year, he goes in, goes to Kapuka, goes to Singleton, or goes to Kapuka, goes to Puckapunyal, and does 1 full year of gap year, gets all of his training out of the way, all of his qualifications. It doesn't mean that he's proficient. Okay, that still has to go for more than a year while you fill in your blue book, all that sort of shit. He won't be private P yet. But he will be on the $240, the $245 for the day. So he does the gap year, he comes out, and now he can qualify for CERCAT 4. What CERCAT 4 means, tell me if I'm wrong, any Army Reservists that are in there or anyone that finds any hole in my game. You absolutely get paid, Dave. You know that. Unless you're married, then she gets paid. So what occurs is, CERCAT 4, to qualify for that, that is like a more permanent, a more full-time requirement or obligation to the Army Reserve. The lowest tier of attendance is 60 days in a calendar year. 60 days. Just remember that every 2 Tuesdays, classes 1 day. A weekend, 2 days, naturally. You're required to do, and tell me if I'm wrong, either 2 field obligated blocks, exercises. You don't just get to choose all of yours. There's an obligation. And 60 days is the minimum. All right? And that normally has a course on there as well, upskilling, whether that be a promotion, whether that be a weapons course, whatever. You're going to love it and get paid extra on top. 60 days. 100 days, you can do up to that before they say, no, you've done enough. Any more than 100 days goes into full-time contract now, unless you get a veto and your unit gets special permission for you. You can exceed 100 days. But then they're going to start to go, if you're going to go past 100 days, how come you're not just a regular soldier? I hope I'm not losing anyone at the moment. So Peppers, he likes that age, 24. This is where it gets very, very exciting. If you do your obligation for CERCAT 4, you get paid $7,000. a $7,000 per annum bonus. Okay, $7,000. Let's say, for the magic pudding we're talking about tonight, that you do your 100 days. Let's do the math. Based on 240, not 245 a day. 240 days with no bush pay thrown into it. No bush pay. No bush, completely shaven. Lesbian ghoul. That's $24,000. $24,000 tax-free. Plus $7,000, which is your CERCAT bonus. CERCAT 4 bonus. That's $31,000 tax-free on top of whatever else you do in your life. And we'll talk about what you can do with that, because this is going to be insane. Think of that number, $31,000. $31,000. Now, what is crazy about that, what was I getting at, is that is not bush pay included either. That is the minimum that you will get by doing 100 days, $31,000. In the job that you have now, not including Army Reserve, is there anyone that you know that's not on some hyper-qualified decades of work that can save $31,000 a year? I'd argue no. No, not without two people's wages, not without people that have been in an industry for a considerably long time or OnlyFans. So what I'm getting at, we're going to look at something now. You need to have time in the market, team. You need to have time in the market. So let's have a look at something to make this all come present. Okay, where are we? Bam. Here we go. Let's pump some figures in, shall we? Let's just say that at 24 years old, after 1 year of gap year, understanding that you can even choose the job you can go into as easy as you want. You can go into clerical, where it's all about paperwork when you turn up. You could go into cavalry, getting around in a Hawkeye. You would pay to do that, let alone get paid to do it. You know, go to infantry, using weapon systems, hitting asses, having a great time. G'day, Judah. How you going from Sino at the moment? I'm hoping to come and pick some of you guys up and take us for a tour soon in maybe the van. Let us know if you're interested. I need 3 people, you know, and I'll tell you the rundown on that later. So, no, I'm going to need the glasses. Let's look at it. You've done your gap year, right? You've come out, you've come to your unit, now you've signed up for CERCAT 4. You're the platoon sergeant, you've decided, okay, to start this off yourself, you've gone to the ComSec and you've decided it's time to start investing, weaponising who I am. You know, with a time growth period where you're considering, I'm going to stay in the Army Reserve for 30 years because of the networking. I want to be friends with cops. I want to be friends with tradies. I want to be friends with everyone that is around military, that has this military ethos that I can train with. So everywhere I go, there's 100 people I can choose to drink with, chill out with, date their sisters, whatever. Okay, you open an account. The minimum you can open an account is $500. You're about to do your first financial year in Army Reserve. What do you do for a primary job? Are you an Uber driver where you could work 30 days a month if you wanted to? How much money do I need? I jump in the car and I do another couple of shifts. I can afford anything. You can live way past $100,000 a year as an Uber driver in a beautiful car, not worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, but that's another story. Okay, so the whole point is you do not want to fucking touch this Army Reserve money, and you're about to see why. And I believe that I'm the only one that knows this. Cane and Peppers, get ready, hang on. You know, everyone, put your age that you are right now in the comments, and because I want you to track along with this with you. So you do 1 year, you haven't touched your Army Reserve money, you've got your $7,000 bonus. After the first year, So every year, regular deposit, $31,000. You have now done, your 100 days. Maybe you can do more. When you're not doing this, you drive along. Ozanin, mate, perfect age for this. Peppers, you're 24. Joshy Fawn's 33. Let's just say we put it in, just for ease, that, and we're talking about at the moment something like the S&P 500, okay? Don't get lost in the woods here, team. It's pretty easy. I can explain another day. This is not financial advice, but it's goddamn good conversation. If you're in the army right now and you are young and you're someone like MMA Recapped, you should be watching this, not even breathing. Mum's, Ty Smith, g'day buddy, how you going? Oscar, Bartos, no money here, annually. So $31,000, this is based on your first year. Right, so we know at the end of the year you're going to have $31,000. This is where it's about to get exciting. The S&P 500 for the last God knows how long has been giving, since inception has been 10%, okay, on average. There's been times down, there's times up. But this is here for the long run. You're not touching this money. If you're a parent, you need to get this and you need to play it to your kid because I'm about to make you goddamn rich. 10% will go off. Righto, you've done 1 year, and this is going to lead into perks at the moment you didn't know existed. Ozan said, when I was Circat 5, I got deployed in 2020 and I was outfield for 2 months. For those 2 months, I got paid a total of about $15,000 roughly. Now I'm in full-time. No way I'd get that much for 2 months field. Absolutely. Aussie, thank you for that. Okay. The thing is, when you have done 4 years in the Army Reserve, guess what? Guess what? You've just qualified now for DOHAS, Defence Housing Assistance Scheme, which means they will pay over $600 filthy dollars on top of everything we're talking about tonight, a month off your house repayment for being Army Reserve. Yep. That's not even 60 days a year. You don't have to be Circat 4 to get that. Circat 5. Incredible. Incredible. Okay, that's nearly $7,000 a year on top of what we're talking about now. So, after 1 year, let's go to 4 years. This is already going to choke most people with what I'm about to tell you. Do your maths. $31,000 a year, you're not touching it, so we know that's about $124,000. You think it's $124,000, but if you don't know about compound interest, this guy does. Let's go. How come you've never been taught this at school? Let's see what happens at 4 years. I'm about to show you the result. It's just below that kicker. It's just below that kicker. Before we do that, why is it that when you contribute to a superannuation from the age of your first job at 18 through to 67 years old, most people's superannuation is only normally under $1 million? When almost anything else that I'm showing you now in 30 years, which would only make you 48, would return over 1.2 million. But at the moment, we're only talking about 4 years, which would be equivalent to getting your first medal, your service medal. So, boom, we come down. You thought it was going to be $124,000? Nope. You've already made $20,000 interest. And this is 4 years. It's about to get exciting. At the 4 year mark, you've only done 400 days, less than, I'm getting wet here. I'm getting wet. You have done less than the time it takes to get a university degree. You have done less than what the time is to get a trade. You're fully qualified. You've got your friends. You're a celebrity in the unit. You've got to maintain your fitness. Circat 4, you do have to do obligation for basic fitness assessment. You know, at the 4 year mark, we're talking about 28 because it's Peppers, but you could be 22 years old. You've already got a fucking $144,000 in the bank. $144,000, and you're also qualified for already DOHAS assistance. And this is your side hustle. Side hustle. It's about to get exciting. Once you saw that, remember, in 4 years from now, do you think you're going to be getting paid $240? Or do you reckon it might be $300 or more? Okay. What year do you want me to put in? How many years? Let's jump to one. Imagine contributing to your country made money for you. Absolutely. What do you reckon, Josh? How many years? Should I punch in 6 or should I go straight to 10? Let's do it incrementally. 6 years. Bang. At 6 years, you have $240,000 by doing 100 days a year. Tax-free too, Dave, to serve the country. Absolutely. Okay, 10. 240. It's about to go. It's about to go out of control. It's about to go out of control. Are you ready? That was 6 years. Is 240. Let's do 10. Guys, compounding interest absolutely goes mental. One thing I can tell you, you're going to get scared in a minute because these figures seem so untrue, but I'm talking about millions. Millions. If you don't do this, fuck you. And it better be because you can't. Because I tell you what, I'd do anything to be able to have this opportunity. Uh-oh. What the hell? 10 years. 1,000 days. That's less than 3 complete years, team. And this is a side hustle. How long would it take you to save up $495,357 in Army Reserve as a male or a female? 10 years from now, you could buy a laundromat. 10 years from now, you could buy you could be buying a house. Okay, you could be living in Thailand for the rest of your goddamn life eating pad thai. That is 10 years, team. You're about to choke when I put this in. Remember, as of that 4-year period, you've already also qualified for Defence Housing Authority in the Army Reserve. What else can you do? Okay, tell me more, lesbian ghoul. I will tell you more. I'll tell you more. Once you have your ID card and you're a qualified CERCAT 4 member, anywhere in Australia, you can go to a major unit and go in there and then say, hey, I'm from out of town. Oh, you don't even have to say that. You can just sign on to any base and just go on there and use their facilities, all of their gyms. Okay, if you give notice, you can go and stay at their transit lines, accommodation. Wait a sec. Louis is saying something. Just watching the stream, it's so good. Need to catch up. Louis, let's catch up even tomorrow if you want to have a coffee tomorrow. Otherwise, let's get it done, man. That's one of our Patreon members right now. And his Army Reserve. You're about to get excited, Louis. Did I say, I'm not going to jump straight to that. Let's go, 15 years. Put your numbers in, team. What do you reckon is going to happen at 15 years? What happens at 15 years? It's going to be a lot more than you expect. Okay, at 10 years, it was $495,000. What happens at 15 years? G'day, Maxie. How you going, buddy? G'day, Chris. How you going, brother? How's your daughter going, mate? 15 years. Who's going to get a number in? I'm about to show you 600K. Peppers, you disappoint me. I wouldn't come on the stream tonight to only give you $600,000, mate. You ready? Army Reserve. Less than 1,500 days service. $1 million. 15 years. 35 years old. $1 million. S&P 500. VAS. You decide. Should we keep going? 15 years long service. There you go. Long service medal, Aussie. Well done. Started training today. His son's going sub 1 Townsville next week. Chris, it's a pretty hard course, that one, man. I used to be an instructor on that too. Mr. Donny, yep, 987. We doubled it, Mr. Donny. At the moment, some of you guys are probably thinking, that's it, I'm going for Army Reserve tomorrow. Time in the market, that matters. I wonder if the Army's going to hear about this. You know, the Army's going to go, holy shit, I didn't realise how much we're overpaying these guys. Look at the compounding interest that's happening. Your contributions to dark blue, the light blue, okay, that is interest. So at the moment, you're putting $31,000 in a year, take it into account, you're going to be getting paid more than double that in 15 years. More than double. So your contributions have come to $465,000. You've had $521,000 in interest. And as long as you don't touch that, that's an unrealised gain, which means it's also not getting taxed. Remember that. And all of this has come from tax-free money, hanging around people, slapping ass, you know, cleaning and firing weapons that you could never legally do in Australia either, with an Australian flag on your arm. Have I converted anyone yet? Have I sold it to anyone yet? Bam. 20 years. 20 years. I did 24 years regular Army. This is going to get disgusting. Oh, it just tripled. Nearly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. 1,778,000 fucking $1,779,000 at 20 years. 40 years old, $2 million, an average of 170. If you did not do another day's service, none, but just left it there, you're now getting paid $178,000 interest and growing every year. $178,000 interest. Incredible. You can buy a different Tesla every year. Right. By now, you're starting to get the picture. 25 years. Do you really think it's that hard to do 25 years in the Army Reserve? The only reason you can't do 25 years in the Army Reserve, even if you goddamn hated it, wouldn't it be worth turning up for this? Yep, 25 years. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We haven't got to 30 yet. $3,054,000. Army Reserve. 100 days a year. Not touching the money. The Gorilla King, then they bring down the damn interest rate. Damn, coming Tuesday. Okay. Is there anyone at the moment, we're going to take a quick break for 30 seconds to say, is there anyone that thinks that my numbers are off at the moment? Because this is the worst case scenario. The worst. This is taking into account that you haven't done a single bush day's money. This is taking into account that you, what do you call it? You haven't had any bush money and there's been no pay rise for Army Reserve in the next 25 years. Let's go to 30. And remember, at this stage, Canaan Peppers is still only 49 years old. Still 5 years younger than what I am right now. Guys, if I was an Army Reservist, if I was a fucking lieutenant or a sergeant, I'd be playing for this. This would be my Tuesday night. You want people to stay? This is how you get them to stay. You do Cat 4. You get filthy, goddamn rich, and you'd better have a smile on your face while you're doing it. Righto. You're only going to find this here, team. Because I've never heard it in my life. This came in my dreams. It became a wet dream. And then I realised it was wet and it was salty. Why? Because I can't qualify for this. But it doesn't mean I can't be passionate for you. My ADHD is going crazy. I just enlisted. I have Kapuka August 1st. Wish me luck. I wish you skill. Damien Frody, are you on Patreon yet? Let me know. 30 years, Army Reserve, you're 54 years old, the same age now as the lesbian ghoul who's sitting in front of you. You're about to shit your pants when you see what's about to happen. And this is really bad news, team, for other people like me that go, well, what about me? Because I'm thinking it too. Cliff says, make sure it's in a trust fund, boys and girls, lower tax and nominated parent as the director can't be touched by a spouse. Totally agree. You know, that deserves a cracking. That's what happens when they find out how much you're worth. It's a cracking. Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari. Okay. So now, if I had my 20s again, Kaz would change my spending and saving, mate. You don't want to know my careless spending. Mate, I have lived like a movie star. You know, I don't see the girls I've had as conquests. I see them as landmines that I narrowly managed to not stand on. Dave says, join infantry, get this money, do amazing weapon quals, full send, infantry exercise can be the tip of the spear. Absolutely. I want you to love your goddamn life. Navy veteran. Only spending about $16 a day on food, eating in the mess, and $250 a fortnight living in accommodation. Incredible. That's coming from someone serving right now who's telling you they're living on $16 a day, but you can still get, it's still good food, team. Eating in the mess, $250 a fortnight. I'm paying $700 a week here. Okay. 30 years, and it doesn't stop here, team. Uh-oh. Oh, 5,108,000 sold. Jesus. And this is your side job. This is your side job. 3,000 days service. Less than 10 years. $5,108,000. At this stage, if you did not touch it, the inflation's gone through the roof, you're still making, in the S&P 500, since inception date, 10% interest, over $500,000 a year as a goddamn Army Reservist. I'm loving to hate you at the moment. Team, I would like to think that I've changed your lives tonight. There'll be people like Carl that are looking at this now going, this has to be a joke. What the hell? Guess what happens? At the moment, you could stop putting your $31,000 in. You could stop it. But let's just say you went for another 3 years. So you're 54 years old. Why would you get out? Because this is where compounding interest will explode this like a hemorrhoid that's been hit with a cricket bat on Jetstar. Let's have a look at 31 years. We saw it was at 5 million. Watch the way this changes from 5,100,000. Bam. 550,000. It went up in 1 year. 1 year. You will actually believe your wife loves you at this stage. We know why she's there. You're going to be better looking than you ever thought possible, and all of this is Army Reserve. Okay. Don't leave yet. It's not that I'm about to go numbers to excite you. Okay. You can see what's going on now. Your contributions are so little compared to what you've made. $8,415,000 at 35 years. So if you joined at 18 years old, At 35 years, you're a year younger than me right now. A year younger than me. If you're 18 years old, there is no one on earth that can give you a better spin than what I've given you tonight. Someone tell me I'm wrong. So how do we do it? Join the Army Reserve. Get as fit as you possibly can. Because if I know that you're going to make $8,415,000 in 35 years, by the time you're 55 years old, and you can go on for another 10 years after that, by God, I'm going to get those push-ups out of you for those 100 days a year, CIRCAT 4. I've just changed your life if you're watching this now. Think about it. If you're already doing a trade, fine. That's your primary way of making money. Okay, that's your primary way of making money. And you're doing this on the side. For this to work, you have to have a profession, because this only gets this size if you don't touch it. Okay, you have to have a profession that allows you to do 100 days a year. But Kaz, what allows me to do that? Okay, let's start ticking the boxes. You've heard me say it before. You're going to think, oh, but I don't want to do that. Uber. You could go in tomorrow, get a $55,000 loan to buy a brand new Type 3, Tesla, and start working tomorrow. And you go, oh yeah, but I don't want to do that. I couldn't give a fuck. Because your main hustle is actually the Army Reserve. That's where your friends come from. That's where your buddies come from. That's where your network comes from. That's where your money comes from. But you've invested. And what happens by having the Uber car? Every day you want, you can go for a surf. You can have a day off. You can play Xbox. You can go and chill. Take girls to breakfast. Okay, but I want to meet girls. Okay, well, guess what? You've got a beautiful car with a beautiful sunroof, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, instead of being a simp ass, on a phone competing with everyone else who's trying to talk to these girls, guess what? You're sober. You're fit. Anytime fitness snap, fitness Carl says. You get in there with a good pump on and you're meeting 200 girls a month. You're the last person they see as you drop them off respectfully to their home safely. You don't think one of them's going to eventually translate to a phone number? Of course it is. You get the chicks, you see them in the wild, you get to talk to them. You get to talk to people every day in your office. No one's telling you what to do. No one's telling you to get out of bed. And in between that, you're doing 100 days, Army Reserve. 100 days. If I was 18 right now, I'd be joining the Army Reserve tomorrow. On the way to go and buy a Tesla to start my Uber career. That brings me back to the start of this conversation where I met the Malaysian gentleman who drives 7 days a week. You don't need to. But if you said, oh, $55,000, that's a lot for a car. Well, guess what? $55,000 over 7 years, which is what you take it out over, is nothing. Is nothing. You're going to throw it away. You're going to throw the keys to a homeless person 5 years later. Because if you say to yourself, I'm willing to work for the next 5 years, every day, to be able to build this castle, because after 4 years, the wheels are off, baby. The wheels are off. You're already in a path to riches unless you crash or lose your license. So this is a way you don't have to worry about what happens when you go to bed till tomorrow. Get up whenever you goddamn want. And each day, all that happens is you're with your buddies. You go and do your hours in your office, go to the gym, eat what you want, talk to the girls, and have complete control as long as you still do your 100 days Army Reserve. Yep, absolutely. Jeez, you could be in uniform on the way home from Army Reserve and just turn it back on. Then the girls get in, and there you are with your uniform on. Sorry, serving the nation. Guys and gals, the advice I'd give you if you're going to join Army Reserve, 1, go to a combat corps. It's where the fun is. It's where the adventure is. It's where the paperwork isn't. It's everything that you cannot ever do, that you can never buy You get paid to do it. No paperwork, maximum mateship. All you need to do is stay fit. It gives you a passport to be able to go around Australia onto any base that's not special forces and be able to walk on there, use all their facilities. It means you can walk up to anyone, any uniform. I'm a current serving member. Awesome. Excellent. It means you can go to the gym, you can go to the pool. It means you can go to courses. I believe what I've given you today is the information that if you were young, 18, 19 or 20, that I've just made you multi-millionaires. It's incredible. When I could not even sleep when I discovered this. 33 to 34. Rank and file Astartes. Is it too old? Absolutely not. It's almost just above average. Okay, rank and file. What I want you to do, as soon as you can, jump on, get on Patreon. It's in the links below. Ring me tomorrow. We're going to get you sorted. The Black Legion team. When you get on, you need to come to the Black Legion. Righto? Ozan, I believe there's no reset. You should be qualified. Definitely not. 8 out of 10, Carl P. Were you ready for the numbers that I just threw at you then? This is incredible. Incredible. I don't care if you hate Uber. I don't care. Because all that is to maintain you between, bam, this. Let's go back quickly. I know it's time to go. It's been an hour. Guys, so excited. Let's go back to this again. 6 years. In just 6 years of Army Reserve, that is less than 2 years in real time, you have $240,000 invested. You know, and you're only 24 years old. There is no one that is a tradie. There is no one that is a uni student that has that. No one. And this is just one of your jobs. If you can think of anything that beats this, let me know. But you won't. You won't. If you're an economist, you probably look at this going, holy fuck, how didn't I work that out? Okay? Navy veteran. Next time they say to you, okay, retention benefit, are you thinking about return of service obligation? Here's $40,000 to stay for another 3 years. Bam. Just whack it in. S&P 500, VAS Vanguard, you know, decide whether you, how you want to do your investments. Bam. Who knows that you don't get to the 20-year period, okay? Let's say 15. Let's go to 15 and say, I can't handle the stress. It's too much money. I'm just going to get out. Okay, I'm going to get out. I can't do this anymore. You've got $1 million. Let's just say the government takes $300,000 of that. You've still got $700,000 after 15 years. Most people won't even get that after 40 years of their super. Incredible. Incredible. Aralani, I'm 24 and joined the reserves, waiting on my NV1 clearance application to be accepted. You're 24 years old. So, Aralani, that's a nice name. Is that a boy or a girl's name? I'm not trying to be rude here. Bam. Aralani. 24 years old. So when you are my age, Army Reserve, CERCAT 4, $5,108,000. BFA stands for Basic Fitness Assessment. Okay, we're going to get out of here, team. Rank is not too old at all. That's average age nowadays. No combat people are going in at 50 to 60. Yeah, it's a character name from a book. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Team, my job is to give you an answer for problems. Okay, I know it's never this simple. There's going to be people that can't get in. There's going to be people whose job or they've got a partner that won't allow them to have money like they're sitting on the side and they're going to spend it for them. Okay, but late, how's it, lads? Get on the bat phone, people. HD, thank you, mate. It drives me crazy when I see comments all day, every day, where people want questions answered when the bat phone. I'm the only person in the world that I know of that does online face chats to people for the price of a coffee a month, and people still don't do it. 24-year regular army veteran who's got a channel here just for you and all the time in the world to give you the best tailored one-on-one advice for your situation. Get on board, do it. I might look like a lesbian ghoul, but there's still testosterone inside this dog. Take from me, Kaz is the man, and get on Patreon. Thanks, FGX. Is there anyone that has any questions before we get out of here? Okay, the Wolverine goes to Kapuka tomorrow. He's with his lovely lady Chloe tonight. And I really wish him well. Thanks for the info, because I would definitely want to go into a combat role. Yep. And I know that we've got some officers in the chat, but I do not recommend going to be an officer under any circumstance. Any circumstance. All you've done is complicate everything. Complicate it. Keep it simple. Keep it fun. Keep it adventurous. You don't need the rank. You're still getting paid the $245 as a minimum. This is all based on a private soldier, gun grease on his hands, that does push-ups, trains, and has the biggest smile on his face, and no one fucking knows why. It's because he came here tonight. It's because he listened. You owe this to people, to pass this on to people. I'll make a shortened video of this, but I tell you what, I wouldn't be able to, despite my ADHD, if I was in your position, I'd be watching this full hour going, other than the first 10 minutes, I can't get enough. I want more. Is it true? I'd be spending a sick day tomorrow just to go and look at the back play of this and go, is it even real? Can it be this easy? Imagine if you know someone who's at the moment thinking, oh, what can I do with my life? Tomorrow you better get a goddamn Uber. And in between having the Uber, maybe find a place while you're talking around, maybe talk to the people from your Army Reserve depot, and look if you can't get a couple of vending machines and fill those. Yep. Maybe you and another guy both do Uber together, and then between you buy a laundromat. Yeah. Eventually buy a motel while you're waiting for this to get to $8 million. Guys and gals, I couldn't make it more simple for you. Ignore Kaz, join as an officer. It's the best thing you can do. Oh, please. They don't even give you a horse. Okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, right. Okay. So this is the tattoo we were talking about before. Man, that just looks like a South American sort of print. I would be asking them if you'd considered getting rid of that, or covered, what would they do there, mate? Carl P, jump on Patreon team, only costs the price of a cup of a coffee a month. All right. I've had a good night. I feel like I've done something different. I like the thumbnail. It took me a long time. I hope you've got something out of it, team, because my job is to change your life. And that's what I believe I've done. Hopefully, I've dropped the seed. And from here, one day you're looking back after your first year of CERCAT 4, or to those that I know that are in CERCAT 4 right now, get your goddamn fingers off that money and get it invested. Because guess what? After the first year it's there, that means you're making over $3,100 interest just off the first year alone. Plus, you're getting ready for your DOAS scheme, Army Reserve team. You could never ignore what it can give you back. Imagine if you did it to 67. Let's look at that before we go. We're about to go. You're 18 years old. No, you're 20 years old. And you stay in for the maximum amount of time. How many years? That's 20, I think 65, is it? 45 years. This is going to be disgusting. This is Warren Buffett kind of money. If you were there and you didn't touch it, naturally you probably would before now. You'd have $22,322,000 based on 10% compound interest. You didn't touch it, etc. I'd expect you'd be a psycho if you didn't touch it before that. Aralani, small business. I'd love to have something like a laundromat. Cody Sanchez, go and look for those channels. She's a fantastic lass. Great stream tonight, Kaz. I think it got my motivation up. Thanks, team. Joshy, that's what it's here designed to do, is always put a light out in front of you. Guys, no one else does this for you. I'm going to get out of here. Cav is almost as good as the Infantry. I'd be going there. I got sick of walking. Team, it's been my pleasure. Make sure you put some questions tomorrow. I want to see a pump in Patreon members so I can help you to get to your destination while I support my daughter as well. Guys, I'm absolutely amazed that I found this information. And no matter how I tested it, it all works. It's incredible. Definitely some food for thought, Kaz, though applied for full-time. I don't really want to change it now. Don't change it. Don't change it, because all you've got to do is invest your money, and just not do what Kaz did. I've made almost every mistake, team. Tonight, I hope you enjoy it. Kaz, I'm having a going away party. Join me. Where are you going? Peppers, you done well tonight, mate, for a 24-year-old. Thanks, Kaz, and mods, love the stream. Hope everyone has a great night. Lanky Warrior, take it easy, Kaz. Look after yourself and keep hammering. Hammering all. Peace. Lanky Warrior. Thank you very much, team. Let's get out of here. Thank you for the donations, team. Thank you for your time. That's precious to me as well. And let's get another video out like this, concentrated, so that you can pass it to some other zombie and go, dude, I'm trying to save you. I can't force you to breathe, but I'm trying. All right, guys, you've got to support your family, but don't live just to work. Get an Uber, meet people every day, and it's a pleasure at the moment being your financial guide tonight. Benjamin Webb, thanks again for the streamcast. No problems, lads. No problems. See you later. Nutsu cow. That's what we're going to end on. And there we go.